Oh man. Oh man, let's get into this. A lot of people are gonna be mad at this video, and hey, I don't care. I'm always gonna keep it real with you guys. You know, a lot of things you're gonna like, a lot of things you're not gonna like, whatever. I just gotta keep it real. And if you've seen the title, you know what this is about. This is about John Carpenter and his purposely sabotaging Halloween over and over and over and over. And it's just like, come on, like you can tell like, I don't know. Well, no, I can't say this. I could say it seems like Deborah Lee was more in charge and like, or like more keeping him in check because when he was around, things were done a little different. Uh, Halloween 2. Well, let's get into the reasons why I feel he's sabotaging Halloween. First off, you do one classic. Uh, Ridiculous classic. Like, I mean, you know, it's a movie that's going to be played until the end of time, even though, you know, as today's standards, like the boy said to in Halloween 18, he said, you know, in standards, you know, blah blah blah, you know, people get killed more now, blah blah, whatever. Yeah, that's true, but you know, that's just such a classic. Um, so yeah, like I said, he does one classic. Two, he doesn't want to do it. So if you don't want to do something, go find. I mean, you know, I don't want to say it like, you know, go find another job or go find something else to do, but like, go try to do something else. Don't make a script and be like, oh, they're brother and sister just to be spiteful. When it's like, okay, you made that to be spiteful, but later on down the line, we're gonna get to that on what he did. So you make them brother and sister. That's cool because I mean that kind of makes a little more sense that he's chasing her when it's like, why would he be chasing her unless you know, probably you know, if he killed his one sister, he might kill the other one. So you know that does make a lot of sense. But it's like, ah man, so you make him brother and sister, and then you have it in a hospital. It seems like if you're having it in a hospital, and it just seems like he wasn't putting any work into it. It's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have it in a hospital instead of houses and back to the drawing board in the way it was. Which I'm not mad. Hey, if you want to do it different than the first time, that's cool. You did it different than the first time, and that's all good. But yeah, I'm a fan of two, not more than one. One is definitely a greater film, but I like two more because it had more kills and stuff like that. And maybe that's the way Rob Zombie did it. You know, he did one where it was, you know, the killings that was basically in the original and a little more maybe, and then the second one was a lot more killing, so he did a lot more killing in the second one. I can't speak on what he was thinking, but you know, first off, to sit here, let me go to that real quick. To say that Rob Zombie didn't do a good job is crazy. If you see the documentary, the 4 hour documentary on Halloween one, like, come on, man, dude did a good job. He did the best he could, and it was a good movie. Only reason why people bash one so much is, I mean, they bash his whole time doing it was because of, you know, the way two went. It didn't go as good as one, and then the whole horse following the horse thing and all that, and he turning into a log man or whatever you call those guys, and whatever. But back to Carpenter. So yeah, so he does two. He's basically saying, "Oh, I was forced into that." So okay, you were forced into it, and so he's changed the whole thing on three on purpose. It's like, come on, you know what everyone is coming for. On top of you're naming a Halloween 3 when you know it's not Michael Myers in there, what people went for 1 and 2, knowing that people are going to come to 3 because they know it's going to be Michael Myers. But I guess word of mouth happened, and people are telling everybody else, like, you know, Michael Myers isn't even in there. That's probably why the sales was so low. You know, people want to glorify that movie now, like, oh, it's a cult classic, and stop lying. You just it's something different and odd, and people want to seem different. Like, oh, this is a cult classic. Oh, it's not a cult classic. It's not. It's trash. Throw it away. If the first hour of watching that movie, I was so bored. I'm like, oh my god, when is it gonna get to something good? Like it was just so horrible. Bad enough Michael isn't in it. Like if you would have brought him in the end on some like whatever happened, at the end, whatever you change it to with him, and he just walked by and killed one person, I'd be like, okay, this is okay. I'll accept it because it's Michael Myers, But him not even being in the movie, and so the pressure was on, after that big L they took, so they had to, switch it up and bring it back and forth. And, they kept it's like, okay, they're keeping the same way. Like, okay, it's a sister. We know that, the story goes on. He is her daughter now, Jamie Lloyd or whatever. So now he's trying to get her. It's cool. I don't have no problem with that. I'm here for the the violence and the fun and the stalking and all that. Like I'm here for all the stuff that Michael Myers does. Right? Cool. Four was cool. Everybody loves four. Like I don't know too many people that don't love four. Like the only thing is wrong with four is obviously the dumbass mask, and that is another thing. How it like I don't I've never done any movies. I've been on the set for shows, but I've never been on set with a movie. So I don't know how hard it is to keep up with one mask or not even one mask. I mean, how hard was it back then to make a mask look like another mask? I mean, they do it every single day. Like we made cell phones. You mean to tell me you can't make a mask look like a mask in the first one? Or what are you saying? Like the mask, he lost it, and so he picked up another one. Like he did in it, but it's just like, come on, like where did his first mask go? Where did where did it go? So I don't know. Then you get to five, hot garbage. Everybody knows five is just horrible. People like to say that six was horrible. No, six was kind of bringing it back. I mean, you got to look at Halloween isn't no Titanic or no fucking Terminator 2 or nothing like that. It's not nothing. It's just like, oh my gosh, like this is award winning, it's just him going around killing people and that's what we here to watch it for. All the stuff that they're doing now in a new one, Evil Dies Tonight and making a mob and try to make it this time of era and what I'm hearing in this new one that they're bringing COVID into it and just crazy stuff. Like just make it simple. That's what people come for. Like for it to be simple. I can understand like okay, we don't want to keep making the same movie and then it's not going to make money. I guess they feel. It's just hey, that's why I'm not in Hollywood. So let me get back to Carpenter. So then you get to five, uh, garbage. Then you get to six. You're keeping the same storyline, except for now you're adding the curse with the mark that he has and this and that. Cool. I don't care. That's cool. I'll deal with that. Whatever it is, just as long as Michael is in it. Then it gets to H2O. We're back with Carpenter. Now Carpenter says he wants 10 million to even be with in it when they're getting Jamie Lee Curtis. When he should be like, okay, they're bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back. Let me just be a team player and take whatever they're giving me, not like they're like, here's $100 or what you got in the first movie. My man's, you're getting millions. Do it. That's why you're doing movies now, obviously, because money must be getting low. Because why would you be doing something that you didn't even like doing after one? Like, why would you keep doing it? So, of course, Weinstein's or whoever was like, no, we ain't paying you no 10 million to be no director for it. My man's, we've been getting directors since after you, and that's another thing with Donald Pleasance. Like, this man worked so hard to make those movies interesting with him because I mean he's like the he's more of a character than anybody in it because obviously Michael's not talking and he's not he's just killing, so you can't really go to him for conversation or laughs, or I mean he may kill somebody funny or whatever, but I don't even remember him killing anybody funny. Maybe in stupid ass Resurrection. But yeah, so yeah, he doesn't want to do it. They do H2O, which was a great movie. A lot of people, everyone loves to praise one, but not praise H2O. When I'm not saying H2O was a better movie, don't get mad at me, but like it's more going on in H2O. If you see H2O and you don't see 1 through 5, you don't see none of them, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this is a good movie. You know, the way he get his head cut off at the end, that had me pissed as a kid. As a kid seeing it, it's like, oh man, he's not coming back. When you first see that, and then they found some type of way. If they found a way to make him come back from getting his head cut off, that means the contract that Akkad has to be some forever type stuff. Like you can never kill him. So that's why I think even these new ones where they said he, what I said in the last video, how he, how they said in the new screening, the way that he, I don't want to say in this video, but he'll be able to come back regardless, with a reboot, I guess, like how they've been doing. But back to Carpenter. So he doesn't get in H2O. It's still a good movie without him. I don't see no way that he could have directed it any better. I'm gonna be honest. Carpenter has like 3 good movies in this whole things that he's done. I mean, and Halloween 1 and 2 is 2 of them to me. Yeah. So H2O, a lot of people liked it. It got a lot of money in the box office. And then here comes Rob Zombie. And from the jump, like if you've seen a lot of interviews back then, you notice like it seemed like Carpenter liked Rob Zombie, then he didn't like him, and it just like seemed like they just had like a bad vibe with each other. And then if you look at certain books that came out, the Halloween book that I just got from I was watching Slaughterhouse, Slaughtered Lamb. I'm sorry. I was watching them and they showed me this book that it describes everything that goes on in the movies and stuff that's behind the scenes. And yeah, it just I don't know, man. It just seems back to Carpenter. Let me stay on him. It just seems like he just didn't like him or whatever. It's just weird. But back to that book, it said that it was going to be a continuation from 6, I guess, to go to no, from yeah, I didn't. I think they said it was going to be a continuation from H2O or something. Yeah, I think it was from H2O. Continuation from that, which is still crazy. But I would have took it regardless. But to me, Rob Zombie did a great job with bringing it back to the beginning and showing the reasons why he became Michael. I mean, because obviously he had to been some type of human before. He just didn't just. I mean, yeah, monsters just appear in movies, but I mean, shaped like a human and the stuff that going, killing his sister, this, that. Obviously, he came out of someone's, down there. And so he had to have a story as a child. So that was good. That was good. That's something that Carpenter never did. He could have did that in 2. He could have, if he didn't want to, if he so-called said that he didn't want to, that he did everything he could for that first one, then Halloween 2 show like the beginning of him or something. Be creative or something. I don't know. But don't do 3. So yeah, so he seems like he didn't like Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie does 1, it's good. 2, trash. I admit it's trash. I hate to say that because I like Rob Zombie, but I'm always gonna be honest with things. It wasn't trash, but it was trash. With the storyline on following the horse and the sister, and she screams every 5 minutes, and at the end, he's grunting when he's killing people. He's talking. He's 9'8". It's just like, man. So I mean, which is cool. I'm 6'8", so I'm like, hey, that's cool. Now when I play Michael Myers, it's more realistic. Because before when I was Michael Myers, I was like 6'4", 6'5". People looking like Michael Myers isn't that tall. And I'm like, well, I mean, at least got to be 6'1", 6'2". But so I guess he didn't like the way Rob Zombie, and I'm talking about John Carpenter. He didn't like Rob Zombie's thing. And you know what I think that was? I think that was more of, now this is just me. That was more of Halloween 1 was so good that Rob Zombie did. Some people, now this is what I heard from different people. It's not just what I felt a little bit, is that people like Rob Zombie's 1 better than John Carpenter's 1 because it's more to the story, more kills, more funny, more everything. But, obviously 1 is going to be the Holy Grail. That's the Bible. Can't talk bad about it, so we're not going to say anything bad about it. But, yeah. And so now we get to 18, and now he wants back in. Now John Carpenter wants to come back for, overseeing it. Because I'm sure they try to come to him with directing it. I'm sure that, especially after what happened with Rob Zombie, and John Carpenter was probably like, yeah, they need me, my, geniusness. When it's like, come on, man, you're a genius for 1 movie, and that's it, you know. And we don't know if a lot of that was Deborah. It may have been Deborah the genius and not John Carpenter, because I'm just gonna leave it at that. So 18 comes. He has. I'm sure he has a lot to say besides the soundtrack. He has a lot to say about it, and yeah, it's good. 18 was definitely good, and you know, he definitely puts his say in on. Oh, they're not brother and sister anymore. What the fuck? Let's go back. So you had Donald Pleasance play all these movies basically for nothing. You just shitted on his whole everything after Halloween 1. Like, oh, who cares? They're not related. That make Loomis look crazy. Say if a person is watching Halloween, the new ones, and then they go back and look at the old ones, and they like, damn, Loomis was fucking crazy. He thought that they were brother and sister. Like, you'll be like, what the fuck? If you didn't see Rob Zombie, or you'd be looking like, what the fuck? Like, because a lot of people, these are their first Halloween. So, they're going to obviously go back. Like me, I didn't see 1978 Halloween at first. I wasn't even born yet. So I had to go back. After I seen H2O, I went back and watched all the other. Well, no, actually, I seen 6 before H2O. I seen a little bit of 5, but I was too young. I really wasn't supposed to watch it. Then 6, The Curse. I seen like all of it, sneaking it. And then H2O was like the first time my mom let me go to movies to watch it. So it was just like H2O is just like, I'm not gonna sit here and be biased to it. Like, oh yeah, because it was my first movie that I'm gonna be biased and it holds a special heart. No, if it's trash, I'm gonna say it's trash. Because honestly, I liked Rob Zombie's first one better than H2O. So, it's not that at all. So you take away them being brothers and sisters. Okay, maybe people think I'm tripping. But it's like, damn, man. You had us thinking it's that long for 40 damn years. And now you want to put your foot in and change it. Because I know it wasn't them. Because if I'm doing a John Carpenter's movie, remaking it just like how Rob Zombie did, I'm going to do everything that's in there that was before. Oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. They were related. He knew her from this, that, this, that. I'm not going to be like, you know what? I'm changing that. No, that was him. He changed it because he didn't want that done, even when he did two, but he just did it to be a smart ass, is what everyone's saying. And, it's crazy. Like, you would purposely sabotage some shit. Like, you would, like, John Carpenter's the type of guy that if he don't like what you're doing, he'll just blow the whole damn thing up. Like, if you guys are working on the Empire State Building together and you're not doing it the way he wants, he'll set it on fire on the first floor and just kill everybody. Yeah, so now they're not related, and the other little things that he's changing with the music. Like, you guys can be politically correct all you want. I'm not. The music is trash. Especially the part when, okay, you remember Halloween Kills, right? When Michael Myers is coming down the stairs after he's about to turn forgot the dude's name, when he turned his head and that music comes on as he's coming down the stairs. It's like he's about to do the boogie or something. It's like he's about to fucking dance or something. Like, why can't you just have the original movie? I mean, the original music while he's coming down the stairs. Why the hell he had to come down to that shit? Like, this guy is, I don't know if his son did it, because the label Blue Canoe or something, I think it's called, the label that they have, and they do music. I don't know if he came up with that or if they did together or whatever, but that shit is trash. Like, a lot of that music in there is trash. And he just think that he just can't do no wrong when everybody can fuck up. I can fuck up. I can say something on here and fuck up. I can tell you guys something and fuck up. Like, anybody can fuck up. So he just feels like, oh, I can't fuck up. This music is good. Like, and then of course, no one's gonna tell him, no, we're not really feeling that, John. No, we're not really. Come on, they're not gonna tell him no. He's gonna get away with whatever he wants to. But and now with his help and whatever, he's telling them how to do things, because they're only directing. They're not, like, that's just a play on it. Like, he's not just doing the music. He's telling them what to do, how he wants certain things, or they're coming to him with certain things and he's picking out of the three things. They might be like, oh, we're going to do this, or this part. Which one do you want to do? And he's like, oh, that one. Okay, that one. Oh, I'm not stupid. Like, come on, everybody sees that. And so it's every time he's involved, it's getting worse and worse. Like, if you look at, besides 78, everything else that he has done has been like something wrong. Like, it's always some like bullshit. And it's just like, come on, man, just let other people do it. But, him and Jamie Lee Curtis are fucking up Halloween. And if it is true what I heard about the ending, and it's the end of Michael Myers, and I'm sure Akkad's son still has the rights to Halloween. Hopefully, this does good in the box office, which I know it's not. From what I've been hearing, I don't think it is, but I wanted to. I'm not just sitting up here and just trying to down it, because I fucking love Halloween. I watch Halloween every other day. I'll watch a different Halloween. I'll be watching Casino, and then I'll be watching Goodfellas, and I'll be like, oh, let me play H2O, and then I'll watch Paid in Full New Jack City. And I'd be like, let me put that in. I watch Home Alone 1 and 2, then I'll put in another Halloween. That's just how I do. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm, whatever. But yeah, those are just the reasons why I feel John Carpenter is just trying to just destroy Halloween. And I think he's trying to put his little input in now to really like destroy it to where you can't bring it back. I mean, the way that like, if you go to my first video, you'll hear, if you don't want a spoiler on how what happens to Michael at the end and what happens to Laurie at the end. So you watch that video, you'll hear it, but it's just not going good. I just don't see it doing good. Like, you have to do some hell of a shit in 3 for it to be people are not going to be happy. If this is a mediocre movie, it's over. They are going to trash all 3 of them, just like they did Rob Zombie. Everybody, when 1 first came out, everyone was like, oh shit, this is good. We finally get to see Michael Myers as a kid. I was hearing all the good shit. And then when 2 came out, they bashed 1, and it just all was like it's over, and then he was supposed to do 3, and then it never got done. But yeah, so no, that's the reason why I feel like John Carpenter's fucking everything up. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that. So what? I love all y'all. Stay up, get your money, and come back and you know, get some more knowledge. We can kick it. Thank you.